just so that we can have an informal atmosphere to discuss what's on the month's agenda. And we will have, by the end of the day, then the full agenda online. So everything will correlate to what we're responding to. So I guess the first thing we need to look at is just so everybody's aware on number 10 and 11. You can look at the line items and the budget amendments for a total of about $34.5 million. So once we see what those are that are posted, we can go through and review those as well. Also on this month's agenda, let's see now because the numbers are different. Be number 30. Do we have the name for District 7 for the BZA appointment? Not yet. Okay. Do you think we'll have that on Monday? We don't know. Okay. Because they are supposed to be sworn in. I guess it takes effect on October 1st, so they can still attend the September BZA meeting, the current person that's there. This would be
That would be the
correct?
question for them.
Yeah, so then this is for October 1st, or the October meeting then. Okay. So you got,
Probably reach out to Rhonda, see if she's got it.
Yeah, we've emailed her, but we've not heard back from her.
Yeah, her father, I'm sure.
Yeah.
She got a lot of concerns right now, so that's.
yes, yeah. Okay, and if I'm, and then let's see here. Then number 32, is that the one that we're waiting on the Merit System Board of Directors? Is that the one you're waiting? Is it just a wording caption? Is that the?
It's not the caption, it's the body of the resolution itself. We wanna make sure you don't have any, suggested changes for it.
Okay.
We wanna make sure he's okay with how it's written.
Okay. 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 All
So
right.
the agenda online is different.
Yeah, we did, she hasn't,
Okay.
see, we couldn't post it because we're still waiting for one item, so, the
We're
rule is.
fixing to go ahead and publish it. I just told Shannon to go ahead and send it out, and then we're gonna publish it. And we're just not gonna attach the resolution for Jay. We,
Okay.
we'll attach it either later on when he submits it, cause when we attach it, it'll still show up online.
Okay,
When we attach it, so, but at least you'll have the caption and all the other attachments that's there.
okay.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, just one sec, can you just can Sharon let us know when it's live so we can then
Yeah, I'm
look
fixing-
and then we can run, okay, yes ma'am.
Just housekeeping stuff. Is there a way to get this in a format where we can actually go in and type our own notes to prepare for meetings, or is it just, it's long?
I can try that. That's a Washington thing. It's because
Okay.
the program is set up a certain way.
Sure.
So, I can ask if they can add that feature.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
It's,
I mean,
Yeah,
I just
'cause
see
you
that a
make
lot,
notes on
it's
things.
easy to,
That's
yeah.
true.
It just makes a lot of sense for, I mean, we're juggling so much, and I watch you all sometimes, just the time frame, you know, something's on the table for discussion, and you're trying to find it on your laptop, and this and that,
Right.
and it's,
Yeah.
that's an
Okay.
efficiency point.
And that's proprietary software that they own, right?
Yes.
Right, okay, okay.
oh, are we on 32?
Yes, yeah.
So, Dave Wright and John Marshall stays on, correct? And then we're replacing 2, or appointing 2, and the mayor's already got his 3, so that's 7. 3 names, is that correct?
And you've got all the resumes.
Yes, and yes.
Are you gonna
Doesn't
print
matter,
those
print
out?
it out too.
Yeah, she's got them in
I'll
the
print
commission
them out.
office, yeah, so.
Save my printer.
All right,
You might just have 2 of 3. Do you have a resume for Lindsay Willis? Yeah, so Mr. Chairman, she'll have 2 of 3, but we're aware and make sure the third's ready for the meeting.
okay, okay, good deal, all right. And then, West Knox Utility, the Hardin Valley Roundabout, I'm trying to find that number. Oh, I guess it's number 37. That's the roundabout that the developer is gonna, assist with, some of the costs. I'm not sure if engineering gave the formula yet as far as how much there's, but do you know?
Not, no.
Okay,
But that's,
okay.
yeah, that's a ballpark.
But we're gonna spend $276,000.
Mhm.
We're gonna give that to West Knox to redo it's like, that roundabout's gonna be $1 million by the time we get through with it, I'm guessing. But it's one of those that's needed, so. Anyways, okay, any questions on that one?
No,
Yes.
it's not allowing me to log on, so I'm gonna go over to my desk and I'm gonna send this out.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
she
great.
just faxed it out, so I'm fixing to publish it, and I'll be right back.
Okay, okay.
Back to that one really quick.
Yes.
sir. I'm sure there's a cost sharing agreement that was executed for that, probably through Jim Snowden.
Yeah, Jim,
We could
yeah,
possibly
and
get a
it was,
copy of that.
it's, Ball Homes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ball
yeah,
Homes.
right.
Yeah.
Good memory there.
You didn't know it till you looked at it.
Yeah.
but that's-
Yeah,
So, yeah, I thought it was gonna be
it was supposed to be, yeah, different,
like 40% or something, or?
supposed to be, but
I've never had a ball home out in South
that's
Knoxville.
why we need metrics and standards on cost sharing agreements, so that all parties know going into it what will be expected, and that you all, now, we all, I'm used to saying you all,
Yeah.
we all can make more informed decisions, because when this was brought before the body, all you heard was, it needs a roundabout, that's may cost us $750,000. The applicant has agreed to help with that cost sharing, and it was approved, and you didn't know.
Right,
that.
I know. I
Yeah.
know, I know. Yep, that's excellent point, excellent point.
We'll work on that.
Okay, and then, anybody know, let's see, here's the, on number 40, wait, is that the one? Yeah, the pedestrian bridge at Gibbs Elementary and middle schools and high school.
Mhm.
Anybody know any of the details on that at all? I was hoping, maybe, Richie had a chance to.
We're waiting to find out if we got a state grant for that. It's gotten approved. That's the last I heard about it.
Okay,
That's the
so
last I
nothing's
heard.
going, we're not,
I don't know if I don't wanna say no. I just know that it's all kind of contingent on getting a grant that we're waiting to
Okay.
hear if we have approval or not.
So where do we
and is
go?
that one of those that, we'd know by the end of the year, or is it, it's?
I think it'd probably be sooner than that.
Okay.
So what are we voting? We don't know if we have the grant.
Well, once we can see what we're actually looking at, hopefully we'll know in a few seconds here when she returns, but my interpretation is that, it's gonna be cost sharing between Knox County and TDOT for that, but the pedestrian bridge that you guys did at South Doyle, was that $1.2 million, $1.1 million?
Ended up at $1.3 million.
$1.3
Yeah.
So- And again, I'm not sure on the distance, it depends on the span, so.
So I guess my question is the body being asked to make a decision on an agreement that we don't have the details of yet, of the cost sharing?
Well,
Do we get,
till
like
we-
Don says, do we get that?
Yeah, normally, and Dwight may know this just from his past experience, but normally if TDOT's involved, they'll say they'll cover X percentage, correct?
It
On
varies-
something
it's
like that?
variable. Sometimes it'll be a percentage, sometimes it's just fixed cost, but.
Fixed,
I
okay.
apologize that this one's on Mr. Caldwell's side
Yes.
of the house now, so I can't really shed much light on that.
Right.
Make sure you pull it.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Well,
I'll
most
ask
of these-
Jim and send you guys an email.
Okay,
All it is.
okay. But, of course, now, just with, his was last year, what, $1.3 million, so now it's probably $1.5 million at least.
It'll be close,
Probably.
but ours had paving, redid the parking lot and other stuff too, so.
Was it, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So procedurally, that would there would need to be a request to pull it?
Well, just to discuss it on, work session night, so,
You did.
yeah.
You'll get you probably ain't seen, we'll get an email Friday
Okay,
that says which items has been pulled and which ones you want pulled, and you gotta go to the form
yeah, okay,
and do it on the form.
thank you, Commissioner Taylor.
Which I finally got back on the form.
Yes, yes. And then the next one, number 41, is about the TDOT project at West Emory Road. So, that is one of those long-needed deals. But anyways, again, once she gets it posted, we can pull that up. We may have to just swing back around on that one. Let's see. And then we've got an MOU with, let's see, what's the number here? With the 3 different fire protection services. It should be 43, okay. Yeah. So what the deal is, the MOU says Carnes gets $218,420, Knox Rescue gets $283,755, and Seymour Fire gets, Volunteer Fire gets $102,825.
Her chair says.
Those amounts came out of Fire and Technical Rescue Commissioner. They started in the Finance Subcommittee, passed out of Finance Sub unanimously, presented to, and Finance Sub consists of the affected agencies. Come out of Finance Sub with unanimous consent, and then went to the full committee and passed unanimously, and now full commission.
And so,
That was a long 6-7 months process of getting the model straight to where the funding models now will be by that model. That was the
It's
New
just the
York.
Ben Schoof model,
Yeah,
named after Perry Ben Schoof. Perry developed the funding model we use.
well, as I'm sure you can appreciate, residents of my district, say, east, the 8th district, the 7th district, some of those locations, that'll actually, where we're subsidizing fire service from Knox County taxpayers, where my fire service that I have is not subsidized. But we have the rescue squad, we've got a volunteer, we've got a subscription-based service in the Carnes community. This subscription-based, but they're also getting a subsidy from Knox County. So you can see how other members in other areas of the county feel like, wait a minute, why are the 3 getting special treatment? And then, and not picking on Carson, but it is, he doesn't have to worry about a subscription.
oh, I do too. I got Real Metro.
You got Real Metro too, as well as Seymour? Okay,
No, I don't have to say, I got the Real Metro.
okay. But those folks down there in Seymour, again, so you can understand their concerns where it's not countywide.
Long-term, the committee is looking at how we may use some of our ARPA funds for distribution, in a way that might seem more equitable to 5th district constituents and 6th, or 7th, where they are all, rural metro customers. It's a little bit tricky, for reasons that are pretty much self-explanatory, but, if it has anything, the committee has really found its identity and some real traction, and watching the agencies work and come to agreement on the distribution of the funds that we do have has been a great model for us, and I think that will only get better over time. And we are going to continue to redefine our relationship with rural metro, over the next couple of years, so.
And they've been a part of that committee, right?
And they are,
Chief
Chief Harnish is vice chair and is chair of the finance subcommittee.
I have a question, Mr. Daly and Dwight, because you all sit on that committee, in the MOUs, does it take into consideration the mutual aid agreements that those agencies have? For instance, I know that Carnes Fire Department, their mutual aid agreement is with the city fire. As a resident of Hardin Valley, that's quite concerning to me. That's quite a distance.
It does not, we were aware of it, the extent to which we, would get into the operational management of the agencies has some real limits.
Okay.
And so that's, we felt past the limit of where we were comfortable.
Stay in your lane.
Yes,
Yeah,
Gotcha.
we left that to them. Seymour's got, it's on Chapman Highway, it's KFD. if it's on Johnsonville Highway, whatever, it's on Metro, so they work together.
Good question.
It's a little bit scary, cause you got one house fire and you're out of service if you have a car accident. I mean, you don't wanna know that emergency services is kind of a passion for me, and I've watched a friend's house burn down, and at the same time, there was an accident, and it was a really tricky day.
Now, I would hope that Dwight's correct. When this thing started a year and a half ago, I mean, it was 1,000-pound gorilla in the room. No, I mean, 3,000-pound gorillas in the room. And it's worked out now. We've come a long way, I can promise you that. And we'll go along. I said it before and I'll say it again. 30 years from now, we'll be glad that we did a fire tech committee.
Yeah. I mean, you can, I attended last night, and I have not attended in a, little while, been a minute or two, been busy. But I loved the energy and the feel and seeing those agencies come together. And
They are.
one thing I think they've had to really embrace is that this is a constantly evolving model. Things will change, there are so many moving parts, and that's why that committee's needed.
Yeah,
To
and the
monitor.
person across the table from you is your partner.
Yep, yep. So, it was good stuff.
Speaking of rural metro, number 44 is the resolution to approve a 10th amendment to the contract for medical ambulance services in Knox County. So, did you have some follow-up information, or does Dwight, or we do have a representative from rural metro here as well?
Obviously, we support the waiver, Commissioner. A couple of points to make, without getting too far down in the weeds. These are penalty reduction. The term waiver does appear in the resolution, but the staff has come up with a formula that abates the penalties as opposed to waive them based on conditions at the hospital that are outside of the vendor's control. And that's really the key. We had hoped that post-COVID, things would get better, but the reality is that hospital staffing in the emergency room is in a pretty difficult circumstance these days. And that staffing shortage is just pushing its way back upstream in the system. Obviously, also on the agenda is the rebid contract. One of the things, if I could say anything to the commissioners that are here and any others that will say in the future, is we hope you will meet us with realistic expectations. We can improve things, I think, with a new and updated contract. That will not fix staffing shortages in the hospital. It'll give you a new and improved ambulance contract that reflects 2022, but if there's shortages on the receiving end for those patients, we are still gonna have some struggles. So we'll have, for Monday, we will have the actual penalty amounts. And we have not yet shared those with the vendor, but we'll have the actual penalty amounts that will be waived or abated, and the penalty amounts that will be assessed, and those will be ready for commission on Monday.
Okay, great.
If it helps, to just back up what Glenn said, at AMR, we track our waiting times outside hospitals every day. And this is about average, but last month it was, I think, 112 hours a day. That's a lot of units and personnel tied up, just sitting and waiting, when legally, and it just can't work that way, but legally, when the ambulance pulls onto hospital property, it's their patient.
Hey, Dwight, on this, attachment's $520,000.
If you refresh your computer, she's now got it online.
I don't have it in front of me, Commissioner, but will be money, is that, the calculation is that when the resolution was submitted and it's in the quick? Yeah. So it will have updated numbers, well, I can tell you if I put my glasses on, and, Mr. Cohen's client may not have even heard this yet, it's just, the process for calculating this is staff intensive and time consuming. August penalties without this waiver would be $974,000. With this waiver, or with this abatement, there'll be $200,000. It is still a consequential amount of money, but quite frankly, we don't know that any vendor could sustainably operate in this market with fines nearing $1 million a month. We are going to engage the hospitals in broader conversations. We just have to, and try to impress upon them the sense of urgency we have, and see what relief we can get. But it's a pretty tough landscape at the moment.
It is, and I'm sitting on the fire and rescue committee, you know, we've talked about this. The wait times at the hospitals are so long, and they're not going to drop a patient off and just say, hey, it's your patient, and turn around and leave. They're not gonna do that. Legally, I think they could. You know, once they get to the hospital, they can say, hey, here's the patient, but they're not gonna do that. So we've gotta help them out in some way or another.
And
This new contract.
if you guys don't hear from constituents about wait times once they are admitted, just sitting in hospital lobbies for 7, 8, 10 hours, before they're able to actually get into an ER room, not a hospital room, but an ER room to actually do something. It's tough.
One other thing I'd add to show AMR's level of commitment to dealing with this, at 2 hospitals, UT Medical Center, and that's been for a while, and then also at Fort Sanders, they have established a discharge lounge, where if they know you're gonna go home today, but your doctor had to come by and do the paperwork, or for whatever reason you're still, they move you into a discharge lounge to free up the room, so they can move somebody from ER into a room, and move somebody else into ER. Those discharge lounges are staffed by AMR personnel at our expense. That's how much we're putting into trying to fix this problem.
How many patients do they see on average in that discharge
The
lounge?
discharge lounge is multiple people every day.
And it's a full-time staff person? Or they?
We're usually, I mean, I think it's less time at Covenant, it covers it with their people some of the time and our people some of the time. But UT Medical Center, my understanding, is just us.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? All right. Next, and again, if you saw something else in between, was number 48, and this is the contract with Young Williams Animal Center. And Janet Testerman's called me, and I just haven't had a chance. She just called me a little while ago. I haven't had a chance to call her back, but I've got some reservations about this contract. And it's my understanding, I believe, that it's gone up about 20% this past year. Is that a fair statement from the previous year, what our allocation is? Because we're now allocating $1,075,000. The city of Knoxville is also allocating $1,075,000 for their operating costs of Young Williams. But I think it was in the 800,000 number the last time.
That sounds right, sir, but I'd be reluctant for you to quote me on it.
Yeah, so again, I'll get some more information from Janet, and also how our county's relationship is with them as far as animal control, the services that they're supposed to provide Knox County based on this $1 million appropriation. So I'll have that information. I'll talk about that on Monday night. So, but the contract is basically about 4 pages. You may just want to breeze through that.
Is that an attachment?
It's on attachment online, and Drew's got the new agenda posted now. So,
I texted Chris, I'll let you know if he gets back to me.
because I thought it said what the previous, I may have to go back to procurement to see. I think that shows, well, Janet will know the exact number, but, yeah.
I didn't see it through the pages, I just scanned.
I thought it was, but,
Chris says it was $75,000 less than the current amount.
this past time?
Last year, it's increased by 75,000.
Okay. Well, I wonder why, but, somebody else indicated it was different than that, but that's fine. Okay. Number 49, this is kind of interesting. We've been renting space to the state of Tennessee over in the old courthouse. And again, it was one of those contracts that was 10 years old. So when our procurement department, it was time for renewal, they went back to the state and said, hey, you know, here's the amount we need to have. So basically, the way the state settled with the amount of cost of increases for the past 10 years, now they've actually doubled the rent. So we're now gonna get $21,000 per year. So, and that's for the child support magistrate's office there. So, and it's again, this new contract will be a 5-year contract. So that's kind of good where our guys said, hey, this isn't right for the taxpayers in Knox County, and said, hey, we need to get fair rent, particularly for space in the old courthouse. The other thing is, let's see here, the next one, number 50, this deals with community television. In the contract, I'm just wondering if the county commission should actually stipulate what meetings that they're responsible to broadcast. They just use general terms, but to me it should say commission meeting, work session meeting, finance committee meeting, audit committee meeting. Let's see, what's the other one? Beer board, you know, those things we should spell out that they should actually do it, because they're receiving $335,306 from Knox County to broadcast those meetings. So for that kind of money, I think in the contract it should be stipulated exactly what they're responsible for. And then if we wanted to add on an additional meeting, but
I agree.
so it should be at least 6 meetings that they should be definitely broadcasting. So again, we can talk about that on Monday night. So